Before we jump into this recap, I have just 1 or 2 or maybe 3 terms for you, so just keep these in mind. The Syndicate is a select group of some of Ul'dah's wealthiest individuals. Even though the Sultana is technically the head of Ul'dah, the Syndicate are the ones who hold any true power and who make the real decisions. The Students of Baldesion are a group working near Sharlayan on the Isle of Vow. They're close allies with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and they've been involved in studies of the Echo, Ascians, and the Umbral Calamity phenomenon. And rounding things off with some geography, to the southeast of Coarthus and the north of Thanalan sits Mor Dhona, an area that has been rendered barren and bled of its ether after a massive battle between the Great Worm King Midgardsormr and a fleet of Garlean airships about 15 years ago. And that's it. See? Easy stuff. So let's talk about some politics. After your victory against Garlemald and the destruction of the Ultima weapon, it would seem that the eyes of the realm have fallen directly to the Scions. For an organization that labored in secret to be cast center stage has been jarring, to put it lightly. Minfilia laments to you that though the sudden influx of support has been heartening, it is quite clear that not all support comes without their own stipulations. While the Scions were founded under the goal of serving the entirety of Eorzea, pledging allegiance to no one state, Minfilia grapples with remaining true to those ideals, or accepting offers that may allow the organization to achieve even greater good. Through your own conversations with the other Scions, you find them to be of mostly one mind, that their neutrality is a non-negotiable ideal. Returning to speak to Minfilia about your conversations, you're joined by Alphino, who proclaims to the woman that the Scions must leave the Waking Sands and Vesper Bay itself behind, arguing that the Syndicate would never allow the group to remain independent for long, having undoubtedly noticed their help in recent events. Alphino suggests that the Scions must plant their proverbial flag outside of established borders, namely Revenant's Toll. Despite Alphino's sound argument, Minfilia, however, seems to remain unconvinced, requesting for time alone to ponder the decision, a request which Alphino seemingly accepts. Yet the moment you leave the office, Alphino explains to you that he believes Minfilia's actions to be stemmed not from rational thought, but a lingering hope of her adoptive mother's survival. Flamin, an Ul'dah songstress and adoptive mother of Minfilia, who supposedly perished in the calamity. However, rumors have begun to spread about her resurgence. Alphino requests you join him in finding the source of these rumors and either squash them or find the missing songstress. After more snooping and information gathering and running about than is probably enjoyable, you track down a Makote woman on the outskirts of Wineport being attacked by a Gubu. While initially wary of you, the woman's demeanor changes upon mention of Minfilia, and it's quite clear that Flamin did not perish in the calamity, the woman agreeing to return to plead your case of a move to Mor Dhona for the Scions. You return to the Waking Sands to reunite mother and daughter, allowing Flamin to reveal that her absence was an intentional one. Having been hunted by Imperials in the aftermath of the calamity, she wished not for harm to befall Minfilia, instead choosing to follow her daughter's triumphs in secret, expressing her pride at the young woman's ability to look towards the future. Minfilia, resolve steeled by her mother's words, announces that the Scions' time in Vesper Bay has come to an end, officially stating that Revenant's Toll will be their new home. Alphino, ever the forethinker, has taken to negotiate with the Adventurers Guild, and the guild has agreed to provide a new facility and material support for the Scions in exchange for the defense and development of Revenant's Toll. A job Minfilia requests you duly take up to show your new hosts the very best the Scions can offer. And offer you do! After recovering a wardstone, checking on a missing merchant, a little breaking and entering, and some weeding of the local garden, you return back to the Waking Sands, only to be requested in Gridania. As you arrive at the Locust stand, you're ambushed by an overexcited Mogul who proceeds to tell you that the Mogsguard have brought their king from the sky. And after a more cohesive explanation from Connie Senna and Papa Emo, it becomes clear to all present that the Mughals have summoned a primal, and your reason for being requested here becomes pretty clear. It is on return from your victory that Papa Emo suggests that perhaps the agreed definition of a primal is flawed, noting that, despite the Mughals or the Mogsguard not worshipping Mogul Mog as a primal, the being summoned still fits the aetheric profile of one. Leaving Papa Emo and Ida to finish off the specifics, you return to the Waking Sands to touch base with Minfilia. Speaking with Urianger soon after your arrival, a scream cuts through the sands, and upon rushing to the Solar, you find Minfilia nearly unconscious. A sight which prompts your echo to glimpse you a vision of the exchange between Minfilia and a strange white-robed Ascian. The man proclaims he arrives as an emissary and means no harm, emphasizing this by allowing Tataru, who remains blind to his presence, to enter and leave the room freely, unharmed. But on attempt to leave after an extremely cryptic conversation, Minfilia moves to stop the man, only to be struck down by a shot of darkness to the chest. Minfilia pleads with Urianger to request immediate aid and knowledge from the students of Baldessian, while also bidding you to give chase to the white-robed Ascian. A chase that's really more of a light jog, as before you've even left Vesper Bay, the man speaks to you, bidding you follow him and to prove yourself or perish. Not one to be swayed by imminent death threats, you rise to his challenge with ease. After defeating the summoned bestial creatures, he formally introduces himself as Elidibus, emissary and bearer of the word of the one true god. After a lofty introduction and the promise to meet once again, Elidibus vanishes, left with a multitude of new questions and less answers than before. The Scions, save for Urianger, make for their new home, the Rising Stones. Like clockwork, as you've gained a brief moment of respite, you learn news that the Scions' request to the students of Baldessian has gone unanswered, every attempt at communication having been met with deafening silence. As Minfilia laments on both their allies' sudden disappearance and Elidibus' sudden appearance, she affirms comfort in the knowledge that, for now, no matter how brief, the Scions have gained the upper hand, reaffirming the goal to rid the world of the Ascian menace for good.